We're the only electric utility company to meet Louisiana's reliability standards for each of the last 25 years. And last year, we kept the lights on more than 99.9% of the time. That's what keeps CLECO energized.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I know yesterday we had some people saying they had audio issues. I was just there to trick you, I guess, because I did not have the microphone turned up this time. But we are turned up now, and check it out. Someone's under the bridge fishing. I can zoom in further, but I feel like I'd be getting right up in their business. But if they catch a fish, I might have to. And if you're watching, please do wave. Yeah, this is the Highway 6 bridge from on Toledo Bend, looking toward Texas here. And yesterday saw some pretty crazy views out of this, saw some other stuff. I'm going to show you the time lapse I got from the Leesville camera, which was just ridiculous. You might have seen it already, but I pulled it up in the show because it's just that cool. And then look at the placid waters of the Red River from the top of Rapides Regional Medical Center. It looks nice out there. Unfortunately, I did have to bring rain chances down for today. I know a lot of you need it, but yeah, I love looking at the water. And hey, Miss Linda, if you want to get on the app or on the website, you can just click and see it. It's just so cool. I'm so excited about this. And here's what happened yesterday on the time lapse on the camera from the Leesville radio tower. I'm going to show you this, and then it's going to loop back again. But we had the storm developing. I believe this was one to the north that came in from the north to the south. And check this out. Let's just bask in this one for a second. I'll take myself off. Look at that shelf cloud come over. We're going to do it again here after it fades out. And there's the rain behind it. But watch this thing again. Just accelerate, overtake the camera site. There's your wind picking up, and then that rain comes behind it. So just amazing stuff right there. And I'm just thrilled to be able to show you that kind of stuff. All right, well, I guess I'll come back over here so I can advance the show and... yeah, I've watched that thing too many times. Here's the radar right now showing most of that rain down south of our area. And yesterday's storms were strong. It was the worst case scenario for those that need rain because it was strong enough to kind of clean out the atmosphere, take the instability, so we didn't get a lot of development overnight. But it wasn't like we had big rains out of this. You can see your rain totals from yesterday. Lots of traces showing up there. At my house... 0.32 inches, and I feel like a big winner looking at this. More down toward Beauregard Parish, and then around St. Landry Community, Turkey Creek, Meeker. You probably had a little bit more down that way. So a couple of areas getting close to an inch, but it was going to range from a little bit to about an inch, and unfortunately, many more saw a little bit than an inch. And even up where we had the severe thunderstorm warnings across Sabine, Natchitoches, Wynn, Grant, it just not much fell. A lot of wind, not a lot of rain. Not an ideal scenario. So temperatures right now, mid-70s to near 80 degrees, and looking into the future today, we're going to get up into the mid-90s. I think we stay below 100. Good news there. And the heat advisories have been canceled. In fact, I'm going to show you that here graphically in 1 second. There you go. No heat advisories. Those are now backed off out into Texas. I could see those returning here in fairly short order, but good to get a little bit of a break. And yesterday it was so nice to get at least to get that brief cool down. Now for today, that chance of showers and thunderstorms, this is why I need to look at the hourly grids on this. No, it's not. No, there's not at 9 o'clock. 93, I actually did look. I just didn't look at the little icons there. So rain chances, that was a lie. They're not there at 9 o'clock. You can see here on Futurecast that we have scattered storms, isolated is what I'll call these. And then down south, they kind of refire along the I-10 corridor later today, but I took rain chances down to 40 from 70. You don't want to go too far down too quickly, but they might even be a little bit lower than that. Still some hope for an isolated storm or two out there today, but it looks like we are mainly going to be dry. Now, there is hope further out into the future that we see more rain, especially in the southern half of the area where actually parts of southeast Louisiana back into that abnormally dry category, so this could help out there. The one thing we don't want help on, the one way we don't want to receive this rain is obviously from a strong tropical system. And you can see out there, there is an area that's obviously twisting there. You look right out kind of into the middle of this area, into the intertropical convergence zone between Africa and South America. Yeah, we have this big red blob over to the west here towards Central America. I'm not too worried about that. This is the area that I'm watching very closely right here. And this has actually gone from like a 20% chance of development to a 70%. I mean, it's pretty much getting to where it's kind of a foregone conclusion conclusion here. There's your yellow area. That's that one red blob we were looking at. That should stay south of us. That'll provide some rainfall, but it doesn't look like that becomes a strong system. This one right here, really interesting to watch, because it's not typical to see storms out here this time of year, but this is one of those seasons where everything's going to kind of come together to where it's not impossible to see an early system like this developing way out in the Atlantic, and the models are really, really hot on this happening. So here's what tropical models are looking like. We're only going to take you out through Tuesday, because after that, the tracks do kind of, the one thing I'm noticing, this is way, way out there, but let's just show you what these tracks are showing, because they really, really are in good agreement. These are your tropical models. I mean, typically we joke about spaghetti models, how you literally just throw it against the wall. Well, there's a strong ridge of high pressure. It looks like this goes west, maybe a little north of west, through the Lesser Antilles into the Caribbean Sea. Now, this is an area we refer to as the tropical graveyard, right? Whoops, I moved the map. So right there, tropical graveyard, Eastern Caribbean. You've got the land influence from South America. You get some more divergent surface wind because of this, and that can sometimes squash a strong storm. It can help weaken it, but also a weaker storm, it can completely erase it. So that's what we're hoping, is that this stays weak. The Caribbean graveyard, as we refer to it, kind of deletes this system, and we don't have to deal with it. Now, should this make it further out, there are a couple of things models are showing here, and there is the possibility this kind of turns more whatever is here up to the right and avoids us. And then a real big camp of these models keep this further south. There's not a ton of indication. Now, this is way far out, so this is probably going to change. But in that 10 to 12 day time frame, there's not a ton of models that are shooting this right up the gap toward Texas and Louisiana. So far, looking that far out, I'm kind of leaning on that southern solution with high pressure holding steady. If it's a strong system, of course, going to be bad news for somebody, but there's a lot of ifs, a lot of hurdles. I talked about this yesterday, so we're not going to concern ourselves quite yet, but we're aware of what's going on out there. Now, here's your updated 7-day forecast. Again, I did take rain chances down for today. I think Sunday and Monday we get another decent shot. We're trending a little wetter on this, so that's good. And it looks like by Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe some scattered storms linger, but I think Sunday and Monday is going to be our best chance, and down south is where we're going to see the heavier rainfall out of this, as I was saying. So let's take a look into the extended briefly here. This is for the July 5th to the 11th time frame, and it's going to be hot. You knew that. And is it going to be dry, or are we going to? Yeah, it's still going to be dry. So it looks like, again, high pressure is going to be steering that tropical system, wave, whatever it is. If it's a wave, if it's a Category 3 hurricane, whatever it is, I'm really leaning toward that southern solution. So far, we're far out. We're 10, 12 days from this getting close to the Gulf of Mexico. But it is on my radar, so to speak, and I will be keeping you posted on all that. I'll be doing lives from Farm Bureau and possibly some text updating as well. I'm certainly going to be updating you on whatever's going on in the tropics. But Tom's here to take over just in case we have a severe storm pop up, although that does not look incredibly likely. So I will see you back here tomorrow morning. I'm not sure exactly on the time schedule of things, because first thing I do when I'm at Farm Bureau at New Orleans, there's a thing called the M Club at the Marriott down there, and I'm going to go get me an omelet in the morning. So that's going to happen. Other than that, we'll be doing some weather for you. And, of course, Tom's here to pick up any slack should anything get a little rowdy. All right, I'm out of here. I will see you guys here tomorrow morning.